Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.
Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the deluxe class Revenge of the Fallen blazemaster figure. So what we're going to do this video, we're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. We're going to have a look at the accessories that come with him and how you can use them. We'll also see how he fares and stands up with some other movie figures, and as I'm lucky enough to have one still in the packaging, we can have a look at the artwork and all the details on the back of that. This particular video is especially for Brandon Kirk, and I hope he enjoys it very much. Right, let's have a look at this figure. So this is one of them really strange sort of movie bots that I suppose that's the best way that I can put it. It's very odd. It's got really, I suppose, bad proportions, and the transformation process on here is really sort of quite difficult. It is quite tricky. It's weird. It's far better in the alternate mode, which we can have a little bit more of a detailed look at in a second. We can have a look at the head sculpt that sits right inside there. It's not a bad head sculpt because it's so tucked in. There's not really much you can do. You can move it side to side. It looks like you can just about tilt it up and down ever so slightly. You can see that there is ball and socket joints in, I suppose, what are the shoulders. I've just folded that at the back. He's got this strange, again, sort of thumb there, which doesn't really do anything, can't really grip onto anything. And the accessories, these ones are pretty much built in, and you can actually, with this button here, you can spin these around. Now you've got a choice. You can keep the propeller blades together, or as you see, you can separate them. So you can piece these back together, and then you've got like, the back just keeps falling down as well. Then you've got like a huge sort of spinning blade if you wanted it to use it like that. But as you saw how I had it to display him, you can separate this piece here. So this is something to be aware of, actually, the blades. Let me just quickly show you. Is he going to balance? Probably not. So these are obviously the thing that's going to be most commonly missing. You can connect them like so, and for when it's in the alternate mode, you've of course got the full range there. But as I've just said, for the particular robot mode, when I was displaying him, there's that strange thumb as well on the underside, by the way, that you can connect this bit quite easily and it will stay there. So this one's quite easy, as I say. You'll just press that onto that position and it'll stay there, whereas this, it's just a case of slotting it in there and hoping that it'll stay in there for some time. It's a shame because the color scheme is brilliant, the tampographs on him are brilliant, and even though he's a little bit out of proportion, as you can see, this is carpet as well, and he is pretty much still balancing there on carpet. Obviously not seen in the movie in this robot form anyway. I can't even remember if I saw the helicopter in it, to be honest. Please correct me if I am wrong in the comments. I was waiting for that to happen. So again, it's just one of them figures that they just literally, in my opinion, just sort of rushed out really fast. Now this is the only particular version of the mold that I've got, even though I know it was used for evac and tail whip, but I haven't got them. What I'm going to do very quickly, in fact I'm just going to sit him down, I'm going to have a quick look at this here. That looks like Bumblebee's head sculpt there, doesn't it? It really does. That's what it's saying, Bumblebee, but more like a bit feline looking, maybe, I don't know. But there you go, you can see blazemaster, you got, it's all tied in, all nice and neat. Of course, we've got the Autobot at the top for Revenge of the Fallen. And then if we spin him round, this version looks stunning. And I'll see if you can guess it for the first couple of seconds, but then I'll tell you. So this is, of course, the stock images. And then if we have a look at the actual images, now it's really obvious, isn't it? All the white bits on the actual figure on here are all gold. And this makes a huge difference. I think it looks a load better in both modes. The detail around there, the detail on the legs, this guy looks more impressive than the actual figure that we got. I'm just going to hold that there and say pause if any of you guys want to read that. Obviously it's loads of different languages, so you can pick the language you read, and the same for there if you want to pause and you can read that yourself. So it's such a shame that it didn't actually come with the gold in the shins, with the gold around the top. Yeah, and even on this bit at the back, you can see it was just that little bit more, oh, excuse the glare, shiny. Right, is there anything else to have a look at while he's in this particular mode? I mean, obviously you can tell it's a helicopter as well, so it's not I sound like I'm really like going off in a bad way on this particular figure. I suppose we could look at articulation. As I say, ball and socket there, ball and socket in the hips. knee flexion. I suppose that's even shin flexion if we're being like a double knee bend. You've got like the top and the shin. Obviously you can see there's an ankle rock and tilt because it's on a ball and socket. I suppose it needs it, as I say, to be able to balance and to be able to display him in this particular mode. Right, that's enough of him in robot mode. Let's come back and look at him in his helicopter. So then, back for the final time in the helicopter mode. Quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. A couple of reasons: one, to keep the length of the video down, and two, not to spoil it for people who don't want to see it. And if I'm being dead honest, it was quite tricky and it did take me some time, but I will upload it in a separate video. And as I've stated before in the first part, I think it looks way better in this particular mode anyway. I think it looks, and that's why, funnily enough, I finished with it in this particular alternate mode. Usually I end with it being on the robot mode. I suppose you can sort of tell that it is all pieced together by all these joins, and once you get everything into position, it holds quite well. It is just a case of getting, and again it explains, you know, why he's got such thin limbs, etc., in the robot mode, because you've got to get it all compacted, everything into here. So his waist, his hips, his knees, all of that has got to go inside. Is it a fuselage? I'm not too sure. Anyway, inside the actual body of the helicopter, shall we say. Here's the gimmick again there for the spinning blades, which just works brilliant. Again, these come off exactly the same as I showed you in the alternate mode. So you do really need these, sorry, in the robot mode. You do need these, obviously, for the alternate mode. If you're missing them, you can just about get away with it in the robot mode. The landing gear is actually metal as well. It rolls out from underneath there. This unfortunately doesn't spin at all. It is just a plastic mold, but again, it's understandable because this actually separates in two, so it'd be quite difficult to have two spinning wheels in there. I suppose something that is sort of quite funny, and I think there you go, you can definitely see it there, is of course his head. You've got a large head in the cockpit right there. But everything else isn't too bad. As I say, it snooks it all, it tucks everything in all quite snug, was what I was supposed to try and say there with snook. And again, colour scheme's brilliant. You've got the use of all the gold on the outside. Just a shame that it wasn't with all the gold on the inside in robot mode. But there you go, guys. There's a trip down memory lane. This was, of course, the 2009 Revenge of the Fallen Autobot Blazemaster. Thanks for watching. Take care.
Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.